Again, it's me. Welcome back to the channel. So two things happened while I was clearing away the cards for reading number 2. One was I was shuffling the surrender cards back into a quantum state, and this popped out. This is a really clear message here. And the other thing that happened was this deck wanted to merge. So in here we've got 2 decks that I can't remember the name. This is the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. And this is the deck I describe as the Forest deck. And for about a week now, I keep finding cards from this deck in this deck and cards from this deck in this deck. So I'm going with the merge and the flow just to see if my hands can even hold these cards. I'm going to bring you some dates for your diary, because as I said, there's a lot happening. And start with the admin. All right, February the 3rd is when all planets go direct. And they're going to be direct for roughly 3 months. It's playtime. So if you've been feeling stuck in toffee, almost held back, pushing at something that will not give way to you, this is the shift I've been talking into. So it's going to speed up. Yeah, really fast moving energy. So February the 3rd is the hooray date in your diary. And what's coming in here, slightly different energy. Again, we've got that pointed focus. So I've captured it as sobriety. Sobriety is I'm noticing people in my professional and personal life giving up medication they've been on for years and beginning to feel for the first time in their life. Scorpio is supporting all of this. Giving up their normal passionate relationship with booze and learning to feel. Everything that the booze suppresses, everything that the meds suppress. So there's a sobriety coming in, like a cleanliness. And that's going to bring lots of clarity, attention and focus, okay? So this is echoing what I said in reading number 2, is the attention now is focusing. It's focusing into commitment, which is foundational. This is grounding into commitment to self, commitment to finish the passion project, commitment to, all right? Yeah, okay. First date for you, 29th of January. Tomorrow, Venus stations direct in Capricorn. So we've had that. Are you sure that's all you're worth? Now going stationing in Capricorn, which is the structures within which we live. It's all the old top-down patriarchal, you know, I speak into it often. So she's coming into Capricorn and conjuncting with Uranus. Uranus is what's going to create this fast change. Phasing again. It's like almost little waves of feeling sick. I know what it's like. You know when you go on a roller coaster and you go up the really big first incline up to the top, and when you drop, it feels like you drop, you move out of your body. That's that phasing. Okay, so conjunct Uranus, break up and disrupt any toffee stickiness is how I've captured it. So it's where we felt disconnected from abundance in relationships, wealth, and resource. All right. And then on Tuesday, I believe, 1st of February UK time, is a new moon in Aquarius. This is going to feel like a roller coaster. It's fast, I can feel it. Cracking open, new creativity, and also resistance to growth. So you're going to be simultaneously coming into wide awake, right? Suddenly I feel wide awake, and also pulling up any layer of resistance. You know, I always say when we bring in new light, new photonic light, it's going to hit every layer of material resistance on the way down. The material resistance can be really hardcore beliefs of, I can't expand that far, I don't go to the edge, it's that stuff. So courage, courage, courage. Yeah, that's Tuesday. And then February the 3rd, Mercury stations direct in Capricorn, so that's the last of the retro action, coming to settle before forward momentum. What are we willing to see about ourselves that we've hidden from? It's the stuff that's beneath the surface. So it might be parts of you that have been rejected, subjugated, suppressed, repressed, shamed. Rejected. Okay, so this is shadow. This is shadow work. And what are you willing to see about yourself now? What are you willing to expand into, to open into? It's the illusion of powerlessness. Okay. It's spiritual exhaustion. That's all going to be cleared away, just cleared away, because there's so much new energy coming in. All planets direct until the end of April. Where am I unconsciously powerless? Spiritual exhaustion, not knowing where to start. So I've seen an awful lot of this. So I was speaking into it yesterday. You can kind of see something really big and sense something really big change on the horizon globally and personally. And I don't know where to start. Well, baby steps. Baby steps. There's no bossy CEO putting pressure on you, apart from the CEO within. So there's been a lot of inner bully work going on this last couple of weeks. Okay. Not knowing where to start. So shifting the mind by pointing it repeatedly. This is like chiropractic for the mind. It's repeatedly pointing it into a different direction, even if it's just what if, until the synapses go there automatically. When you can't solve something, what if? Open, just opens the field. So this part, so I've been talking recently about inner authority and becoming our own coach mentor, and that's what this energy is feeling like. It's really feel like taking ownership of our stuff, our gifts, our mess, our shamed parts, our celebrated, taking ownership. No more excuses. No more transference and deflection and all of that. Oh God, it's so old. Yeah, it's the unworthy religious bowlarks. Becoming the inner coach mentor and holding yourself accountable for your own actions, creating a new narrative, questioning the old mythology. Good enough, not good enough. Finding another way to narrate your story. Big, brave, bold words. Playfulness. Okay, the big one is the US Pluto return, which is the 20th of February 2022. 2022. Notice that. Helen, if you're watching, please do a video about 2022. So, yeah, we're already in the US Pluto return. I'm not going there. It's not my bag. So the Pluto return on the 20th of Feb is going to be followed in early March by this. Venus, Mars and Pluto all converging in Capricorn at 27 degrees. That's bullseye. Early March. So February into, well, the first quarter of 2022 is action, change globally and personally. It's almost like the destruction of all. Pluto is destruction. It's to do also with toxicity, chemical toxicity. It's the underworld, it's hidden secrets. Big reveal. There'll be some reveals. Okay, and then the last one is in April. Now, this is a special one, Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces. Jupiter's already in Pisces, but on the 12th of April, it will conjunct Neptune. In our lifetimes, we've never seen it. In our lifetimes, we'll never see it again. So I love that Jupiter is already in Pisces at 7 degrees. The number of the mystic. Neptune is already in Pisces at 22 degrees, the master builder. Magic and mysticism meet the master builder, fusing new light into uplifted matter. This is limitless. Limitless. Oh, yeah. Recently, I woke up with a line from the film Aladdin because I was feeling into this. It's when they showed me the map and the different time zones and the multidimensionality that's really going to start getting awakened. Fast, fast, fast. And I said, give it to me in a sentence. And it came in as phenomenal cosmic power, itty bitty living space. So, yeah, limitless. Limitless, just outrageous limitless. Okay, that's the end of the admin. Let's see if we can generalize. Let's pull from the mega deck. And if we go from now, let's go from now until April. Let's have a 3-month general overview. I don't want to read into every date. Let's have a 3-month general overview, please, for the dates that I've just read out. Show us the changes. Again. Again, again, again. I can feel that energy literally in my heart. Not my heart chakra, literally in my heart. You can see how shuffled these cards are. I put the 2 decks together and I mix them. Then I split them into 3 decks, and then I split each deck of 3 into 2 and shuffled and shuffled and shuffled and put them all back together. And we have those 2 cards that were in the last reading. It's huge. It's like simultaneously coming home to self and going home. So it's creating an open channel. To come and go as you please. Okay. Yep, I think these cards like being together. They're surrendering to play. Let's have some more cards, please. What's the change going to look like? Again. All the joy and the play that's coming in. I did a workshop last night. Hang on, I'll tell you who it was with. I did a workshop with the London Drawing Group last night, and it was a creative art. It was bordering on therapeutic art last night. And I did it just because there was no purpose to it. It came to me and I registered for it. And it was that energy. It was wild, creative. My kitchen table is covered in paper and every drawing implement I could lay my hands on. I was covered in ink and chalk. It was such a joyful experience. And in it, there was tons of inspiration. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Okay, what else are you giving me on Herald of Change? I said this in the last reading. Can your mind conceive of overflow? When I say conceive, I mean surrender. Surrender. I was talking with a fellow mystic 5 years ago about, in the 2020s, this flow back of abundance, this enriching of relationships, soul groups coming together, financial abundance, everything you couldn't make coming back because we've got this single focused commitment to self, passion projects. Reconciling with, I've got both ends of the spectrum here. I've got reconciliation with ancestral wisdom, which is already in your DNA. This is just, all this light is just waking it up and turning it on. And in this, I get the magical child. So I've got the whole spectrum of child through to ancestor. And reconciling that. I wonder how that's going to show up in the world. A 3D card. How is this going to show up in the world? This masculine creative fire. It's like the masculine taking back his power. Because the feminine as an archetypal energy, the yin energy, has been in massive rebirth for years and years. And this feels like, is it like the culmination? Yeah, wow. It is. Oh gosh. There's that focus. There's the not giving up. It's the going the distance, staying committed to finish the symphony. How many symphonies have you started in your life? How many projects, how many books have you started? This energy is going to recommit you. It's going to re-engage the want. It's very different to, you know, a lot of people who want to write a book, they set themselves goals, and I'm not demeaning any of this because it's worked in the past, you know, write 3,000 words a day or whatever. But that's manifesting from should energy, from obligation energy, till it becomes a burden, until we start to dread it and we actually start moving away and avoiding it. This is going to create enough yang passion to not be able to put it down. That's commitment. That's the committed relationship. That's the reconciliation. It's to come into commitment, a committed relationship. And it might show up as new relationships, literally. Uranus, anything is possible. It might show up as committed relationship, but when we make that commitment to self, oh my gosh. This is wow. This is wow. It's like beyond. I mean, yeah, imagine it, but this is beyond. Because we're talking about play, joy, passion, and overflow. And I'm feeling this rising wave of excitement come up. It feels amazing. So with activated masculine energy, I just want to move these to one side, because I want to talk to the masculine here. Collective masculine. What is it you want to say? Where are you now? Where are you now? Okay. And what are you anticipating? What are you looking forward to? He's not pushing, he's waiting until the time is right. He's colluding with nature, or his natural self. And the thing that he's looking forward to. Stability, because when it's made from love, it will stand the test of time. Yeah, wow, is this the difference between empires? Because empires only ever rise and fall, that's all they do. They rise and fall because they're built on everything that isn't love. They're built on greed and insecurity. When you're building from a, look at this creative space. This is elemental. You create something that is sustainable. Talk to me about stability. How do you want to manifest stability? It's changed here. See these books here? These two books, War in the Soul and Warrior's Return, they are all about moral injury. They are all about what happens to men, predominantly, at war. It's about the injury to the moral compass, our natural north node. Getting back to integrity, realigning. Good God. So he's looking forward to stability. How he's going to build that is by realigning his inner compass, getting back to integrity. Becoming enlightened, listening, tuning in, realizing. And he'll have to harness his strength because he's going to be breaking down some stereotypes here about how, I'm talking about men now, how men are perceived, how the masculine is perceived. So how that will present in the human being as the inner masculine is when we come back to our moral compass, to a place where we are children on a planet, creating with joy and passion. Yeah, that's stability, that's strength. And in order to be that unique, which we all are, we're going to have to let go of some stereotypes. You heard me say in the last video, I'm letting go of some boundaries as a professional practitioner. Done, we're coming into unity consciousness here. Good God. Okay. This is his awareness at the moment. It's happening now. Compassion for self equals compassion for other. Here's the multidimensionality, wandering between worlds. Okay, right, well, so masculine energy is right in it. Show me feminine. Show me feminine energy. Where's she at? Where's the feminine at the moment? So feminine is in the higher mind. Uranus represents higher mind. So the new moon next week is in Aquarius, isn't it? This will be higher knowledge. Learning to trust. patience with the bits she doesn't understand or the bits that seem foggy, but that's not going to last very long. I'm talking into radical self-acceptance. If you're a freak, be a freak. And sanctuary, do you remember when we did the Venus reading and Venus came through as an altar, a safe space, sanctuary? So she's still slightly in rest. She's pulling down the information from the higher mind. He's getting realigned into his integrity. He's moving between worlds as well. Activation, transformation, and strength. All right. I'm going to put those back in the deck. Look amongst yourself. What I'm curious about now is what happens when these two energies come together. And what's that going to look like? How are they going to manifest together? What are they going to manifest together? The masculine and the feminine. Got to keep asking. When are the masculine and the feminine together? Getting back to integrity, there's alignment there. Give me another card for patience, please. I'll stop looking at that. It's something to do with this. That's part of it, so now that's part of it. Getting back to integrity. So it's almost like powering up the alignment of the passionate, joyful self, the magical child, through experiencing it. Kind of getting used to that energy, learning how to think, breathe, and be in that energy, because the mind might want to pull back to purpose, sense of importance. Why am I doing this? What's this going to achieve? When we're coming from a place of integrity, it's just about having fun. So it's just about being playful, experimenting, and it takes patience. Again, completion, I think that came out with the contract, didn't it? Completion, sacred contract. Okay. Let me see what comes out with that card. Kind of came out. Let's see if we can read into this opportunity. We've got focus and wisdom. Right, so together, again, it's experimenting with these new playful energies, keeping it light and meaningless, moving towards adventure by applied focus. So the masculine and feminine are initiating at the moment. So it's almost like a calibration. It's like a symbiotic calibration. It's like the infinity symbol going back and forth, back and forth. New conversations, no competing. Trust again. Meeting the obstacles because the mind will want to argue. Right? We're coming out of Capricornian patriarchy where it has no importance, then you have no importance. Be ordinary. Unspectacular and magnificent. So it's breaking down the wall. This is the patience card then. This is the patience card. Oh, do we get reconciliation? In the last reading. So it's reconciling the masculine and the feminine. And that could appear in the 3D. Okay. We're still in the tail end of retrogrades. So learning to come together, to move towards adventure. This is beautiful. Okay. I keep bringing you the same message. The cards keep bringing us the same message. It is a new life of adventure, passion, joy, playfulness, and it will start in the mind with letting go of crap. All right, let's do surrender. Has anybody noticed a change in their crystal? If any of you work with crystals, I have a really large morganite ring that I wore the other day and it made me feel ill. So I took it off and I started to feel better. And then what else did I wear? I wore another quite big, small ones are okay, but I wore another big one and it upset my energy. I'm just putting that in there. I'd love to know if anybody else has experienced that. If you have semi-precious big stones, it's, yeah. As soon as that card landed, I heard an argument. I heard people arguing, blaming. What's the question? If we're talking masculine fire, then Mars and Venus conjunct, there might be some oh, wow. Okay, so, wow, it's denial in the self. What am I the common denominator in? What do I keep pulling towards me? So this is the end of drama custody, taking custody of other people's drama and not owning our own. So again, I come back to accountability and to transparency, because okay, I need some paper. this actually came out with some client work the other day, and I got them to do a bubble diagram. I'll describe it. I got them to do a bubble diagram. So using lots of bubbles, start with your name in the middle and draw a bubble around it, and then connect it to another bubble, and do this mindlessly. Connect it to another bubble, which starts to describe your life. And you can do the diagram with things you love, with jobs that you've had, with relationships that you're in, with many of the same thing. And then you stand back and you look at the bubble diagram and you look for commonality and theme. Okay, so a really good one is partners audit. So do it with past partners. And what you'll start to see is themes that are all in you. Okay, so you're the broadcaster and that's what you've pulled towards you. And when we keep denying it because we're stuck in blame and it's your fault, you made me. Well, nobody can make you anything. They can trigger what's already inside you and you can choose to feel it or not, or you can deny it and project it back. So, and this can come in with manifestation as well. I can never, if a sentence starts with, but I can never, that's the instruction, isn't it? So it's a fearsome thing to move the mind from, but I can never, but in the past it hasn't, into anything can happen. Anything can happen here. So surrender denial, meet it, know it. I think this speaks into the energy waves, the photonic light that's coming in is coming in quite fast. So the energy is going from highly activated to knackered all in one moment. So give in, give in, give in. All right, beautiful. Thank you for those. I'm going to wrap it up. I don't think there's anything new. Well, let's ask, is there anything? Where am I going? Let's go to these. Is there anything new that I haven't covered? Anything new? No, for me, this time, this phase, let's go 3-month phase. Once planets go down, well, they're already going direct, so we're stationing rather, we can feel the energy, is this. New life, blank contract, what do you want? Can you feel it? Uranus. Getting what you want. That's it. That's it. Let's finish with an abundance card. And then I am going in search of food. Oh my God, is that the time? What happens when you get lost in joy? I've loved doing these readings today. So cheeky. Self-worth. Self-worth. How do you receive abundance? Go to journal with that. It would be really interesting for you to see the words come out of yourself if receiving were a person in your life, who would they be to you? What kind of relationship would you have with them? Staying open to receiving. Absolutely gorgeous. Yes. Receive with the joy of a little child. Yeah, gratitude. Practicing gratitude is really good for the energy field. It helps you see small things, really small things. Okay, just turns the mind towards appreciation of everything, even triggers, appreciation. Okay, my people, I'm going. Thank you for being here. Thank you in advance for your beautiful comments. And I will see you all again soon. All right, take care. Good luck.